Welcome to Hollywood on the Rocks. I'm Chris Gore. Alan Ng will be here shortly. Today on the show, it's that day. It's the Odyssey. We're going to talk Chris Nolan's Odyssey and a load of news, plus an interview with a filmmaker. We love to talk to indie filmmakers, but let's get Alan on the show. He's here somewhere. Where is he?
Alan!
Hey. Oh my God. Yeah, I made a huge mistake.
What?
The Odyssey is the greatest movie ever made. It is the best Christopher Nolan movie. I mean, Christopher Nolan sucks compared to the Odyssey.
Well, then why did you on film? I'm looking at Film Threat right now. I see your review, which it's long. It's got two. You gave it a 4 out of 10.
Yeah. I mean, apparently it's 98%. It's 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm the 2%. So apparently I'm wrong.
Okay,
because everyone else is right.
Well, we're going to get to that later in the show because we have a lot of news. But let's talk to the people here, and then we're going to get right to it. A lot to talk about.
Yeah, Andrew Cram gives it 5 Film Threat memberships. Thank you, Andrew.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And Zero gifted 5 Film Threat memberships as well.
Oh, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All the support for the channel.
And Zero also says, let me tell you about Ulysses. And Davina Duckworth, I'm looking forward to Digger now.
Hell yeah.
And Stug, make character actors and actress great again.
They probably read your review. You make a point of that.
No. Lord Thought, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram, buy our merch, shop.filmthreat.com.
Yes, go to shop.filmthreat.com. We've got a lot of our Summerween. That's, we're halfway to Halloween, more than half. And Spirit Halloween is about to open. And Alan, your dream may become a reality.
I think so. I think Christopher Nolan and Supergirl are certainly helping us out. Thank you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for helping boost our numbers as well.
Yeah, Alan's dream is to get how many?
169,000 subscribers.
And we're almost there. I think it's like 4,000 to go.
Remember how long ago we got to 69,000?
And then it was a long road to 100. If you want to see Alan and myself, we will be at San Diego Comic-Con, booth 1705 on Friday, July 24th, 2 to 3 p.m. Saturday at 11 a.m. We'll be there at the Big Man Comics booth. Thanks to Gabe Al-Taib for putting us up there. We'll be doing giveaways. And on Friday, July 24th, 12:30 p.m., room 24 ABC, the Indie Filmmakers Survival Guide panel with Robert Meyer Burnett, Joseph Kahn, Jim Agnew, myself, Chris Moonlight, and April Wright, talking all things indie film. So don't miss it. It's going to be insane. Few more chats here before we go to chat comments. Before we go to
Logan Misiak for 5. Just wanted to say thank you to Alan and Chris for being honest and true to your real opinions about the film. Don't fold under the pressure, LOL.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Hail, gents. Gong me.
Sorry about that. That was a delayed gong. Sorry, Bruce.
It's timing. Not another name for 5. So you're best friends with Tom Cruise now, Alan? Yes.
Let's do a segment on that because you have photos.
Okay, yeah,
a lot of other stuff. Maybe we'll do that Friday.
Okay.
Because we've got time Friday.
Yeah. But they did release the new trailer of Digger. Dark said, Mirror 44 months. I'm torn. Jeremy Johns gave The Odyssey an awesome-tacular, and you guys thought it was a slog. Damn it. I want a black and white consensus.
This film will not have a black and white consensus. It's not going to. But let me just reiterate. I'll talk about it in my review. There are critics afraid to say how they really feel.
But we're not talking about Jeremy Jahns.
We're not talking about Jeremy Jahns, but I think a lot of critics I know are afraid to say how they really feel. And can I just say, a few of them have reached out to me privately to say they were kind of bored and thought it was pretentious too.
Oh, so they reach out to you while I'm sweating it on my end.
I won't out some of these people who might have done the junkets, but they were a little bored also. Go
ahead, finish.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, we put out that out of theater reaction. I posted it, and then I get nothing but heat on X. I mean, you go to my X feed, and then I put the review out, and just go to the comments in the reviews, and I'm like, people are reaching out to you, but no one's reaching out to me. I am this outlier who is just getting beat like a dog in the corner.
And well, all I can say is this: Alan is still employed at Film Thread. What does that tell you?
Yeah. Although a lot of the comments wish I wasn't employed.
That's okay.
Sean Hu getting 5 Film Thread memberships.
Thank you, Sean Hu. Appreciate that. Hey, let's get to it. Versus was wild on Monday. And I have a quick apology that we did not get to properly do a tribute to Sam Neill. He passed away. I think it was early Monday, was announced. And R.I.P. Sam Neill, amazing actor. Laura Dern actually did a little tribute to him. I'll share this here real quickly. Laura Dern says, Sam Neill is a true and noble gentleman and my dream leading man. I will love you forever, Dr. Alan Grant. So there you go. Also, they put up here, I think there's like a little video tribute to Sam Neill. Let's play. He's recreating his famous scene where he first sees dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. He's on I think this is a British TV show. Check this out. This is great. And there's some other footage of Sam that's candid that we really want to pay tribute because we missed it Monday.
Action. Very good. Oh!
Hey, don't listen to that selfish bitch. She's full of shit.
Leave us alone, magpie.
Ah, get fucked, fox.
Vulgar bird.
It's a honey trap.
He's native, Nick. They resent us foreigners, whatever we do.
Vermin. Fucking vermin.
Oh, go pick through a bin.
You'll be in a world of pain, mate.
Sing a song of long ago when things were green and moving slow. And people stop to say hello. Well, they say hi to you.
There's a hula, so you can, feel free.
What do I have to feel free doing?
Did you know he could play the ukulele?
No.
Well, now you do. Another talent of Sam Neill that was you didn't know about.
I'll do a little bit. Go on then. Okay.
There'll be no tears. There'll be no regret.
Rabbit pie.
All right, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, we gotta
skip through that. We're gonna
know what that song is.
Yeah, we know what that song is, folks, and that's really how you want to do a tribute to Sam Neill. So a sad loss. I really feel we're losing so many of the great actors that it's just where are we gonna have people on the level of a Sam Neill or I fear for like Harrison Ford is still with us, but where do you go to now? We're not really investing in new celebrities or building them up. So I don't know if you had thoughts about Sam Neill.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'll say it again. Best computer graphic CG animated film is Jurassic Park. Still is, still will be. Lord of the Rings comes into close second.
Yeah.
And I'm probably the only one who really liked Jurassic Park 3. And he was a big part of that one. And then also we before his death, we actually got an emails asking us to promote the 10th anniversary of Hunt for the Wilder People. So we'll be sure to get a review up for that one.
We've got more news here, and we'll get to your comments and questions after some news, and we'll get to our review. First up, I Play Rocky. We got to see this trailer early at CinemaCon in April, and coming out of CinemaCon, it was one of the movies we were talking about, but no one, what? A biopic of Sylvester Stallone, kind of how he made Rocky. This trailer, they used to make movies like this all the time.
Yeah.
Movies that inspired, that made you feel that like in your, God, just this movie that came out in 1976, Rocky, blew my mind as a kid. I drank eggs because I saw Rocky drink eggs. I drank them. I lifted weights when I was like in junior high because I was so inspired, as were a lot of kids. Let's watch the trailer. I want to see what you think, Alan. Let's go. Alan.
Well, I remember when we saw this at CinemaCon, I think we were at this point where it was like, what good is coming out of
yeah, there were a lot of bad things. A lot of bad things.
Yeah, and this one just stood out. I think what's interesting about this, we know the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
But you realize how tough it is to make a movie in Hollywood and how close you are to not making the movie at all or not getting it out there. And that there are things along the way that can just put an obstacle. And I'm pretty sure there are thousands of movies that, some stupid obstacle got in its way and it never got made. And look, it'll be weird that A, it probably costs as much as original Rocky, and B, it'd be I was gonna say something. And as inspiring as the original Rocky.
Well, it's first of all, I watched this trailer 20 times this morning when it dropped. I got choked up, not just because of the memories of seeing this film and what an impact it had on me as a kid. I started working out in junior high with weights and took my health seriously. I drank eggs, which was awful because I was trying to copy Rocky. And it came out in a year that was the 1976, the 200th anniversary of America, which everyone was very patriotic. And it's also the story of failure and fighting for respect. People forget in the first Rocky movie, he loses. He loses, but he wins respect. And Rocky 2 is basically a remake of the first movie, except he wins. Sorry, spoilers, but look, these movies are about believing yourself, going for a dream, working hard. And what I really got like upset about watching the trailer was how I feel those values have been lost since 1976 to now. Those values that made Rocky a hero have been lost, and we've forgotten what really makes a hero. And so I just got kind of sad because there are other movies that tackled this idea, this theme. I mean, I love the Bad News Bears, the original one with Walter Matthau, where, they lose the baseball game in the end, but what do? They win respect. And that theme, the movie Breaking Away, do you remember that?
That is one of my favorite movies.
I love that film.
I've seen that movie so many times.
It's such a, it's just a build. I love that there were so many movies I saw as a kid that had positive messages, not lecturing messages, but if you believe in yourself and work hard, you can accomplish something.
Yeah.
And
Well, in all
that
those
me-
cases, it was the underdog story.
Yes, underdog
it's-
stories.
People
love-
who
and
never should have succeeding.
And we don't tell those stories now.
Mhm.
And that's part of what gets me choked up watching that trailer. So I can't wait for the movie. It's in theaters. I will see it in the theater. And good on them in the trailer for not doing a little 10-second. And the I Play Rocky trailer starts now. They just started the trailer.
Yeah.
Let's make that a trend.
Yeah.
Let's make it a trend.
I remember the big thing, like, to me, this was the first time a little upstart film, broke into the Oscars and ran away with it. And then the just on the news, there wasn't entertainment news. There were no entertainment news shows at the time. But the biggest deal was that the first use of the Steadicam going up the steps there. And just, first time I really thought about movies and the magic that comes with movies. It was Rocky.
It's a movie you feel viscerally. I
Mhm.
defy you to watch the Rocky films and not get like caught up. It's so good. Hey, Avengers Doomsday is coming and there's some news. Here we go. Ms. Marvel actress on Gen Z in superhero movies. One of the things, the Marvels may have gotten a negative review from us and others, but I don't think we had anything bad to say about Iman Vellani, the actress who plays Ms. Marvel. I think everyone really liked her. She's a very likable character, likable as an actress in real life. And she had something to say that really crystallizes how people are feeling about Marvel and superhero movies. Can you read this for me, Alan?
Yeah. She says, I don't agree that Gen Z has stopped caring about superheroes. Maybe they just stopped feeling obligated to show up. Our generation has grown up with an abundance of superhero stories, so perhaps the novelty has worn off, which is natural. The bar is higher right now. We're looking for stories that feel specific and emotional, especially in an age of AI. We want honesty from our storytellers. We want our intelligence respected. If anything, I think Gen Z responds incredibly well to superheroes when they're treated as people first. The themes of grief, identity, legacy, belonging, they're timeless and will never age out. Every genre goes through cycles. Westerns did, musicals did, rom-coms did. So the answer isn't to abandon the genre, but it's to find new stories that only could be told through this genre. At the end of the day, I think we just want these films to evolve and grow alongside their audience.
She should run Marvel. I kind of feel like she's a legit fan, and that statement that she made is so smart. It's too bad she was in a movie with not a great script, but she's a better ambassador for the movies than a lot of the actors currently in Marvel. Anything to say?
Yeah, let's be real. The show didn't do her character justice.
True.
Not that I was a big fan of that version of Ms. Marvel from the comics. But I'll say it again. Like my daughter is 18. She's going into adulthood, but you know what the Gen Z superhero movies were? It was those first phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I took my young daughter, too young at the time, to see the Avengers, the original Avengers movie. We saw it 7 times in the theaters. She was at every single movie following that. She's Gen Z. She's on the young end of Gen Z. Mm-hmm. So she knows what great superhero movies are. But as she told me while watching the one episode of Starfleet Academy I made her watch, the problem is people misunderstand Gen Z. They think they know how to write to Gen Z, and they don't. And I think we ran a story a month or so ago that the same principles of storytelling that have been told over the centuries still apply to Gen Z. So why don't we go back to those principles of storytelling? Connect with your audience, say something, connect with them emotionally, and then you'll have a great movie on your hand, a movie that Gen Z will watch.
Concept art for Avengers Doomsday has been released. This is official.
Yes.
We've seen a lot of, I think it might have been AI or This is concept art for Avengers Doomsday on X, and it's a big fat collage of characters. We got the X-Men at the bottom there with Beast and Scott Summers and Mystique. Who's that? Nightcrawler, Gambit, Professor X, Magneto. Then we have the Fantastic Four with Wakanda there. There's Shuri. And then you've got Captain America, Sam Wilson. Is that, I can't tell, is that Ant-Man? Who is that? No, that's his Falcon sidekick. Dr. Doom in the center looking very Darth Vader like. We've got a guy in a black t-shirt and a beard. Looks very Gap, like he walked out of a Gap and bought a t-shirt. That is Chris Evans as Steve Rogers.
No, that's Bucky. That's Winter Soldier, isn't it? I mean,
no, that's Steve Rogers. Then we've got there's Ant-Man, Yelena. You got some other people.
Yeah, some other people.
Other people and Thor. It's a giant mishmash. It's what do you think about
no go back to that.
Yeah
you know how you used to cut and paste magazines and then put them on a poster?
Yeah,
they've done that here, but digitally.
Right.
I mean, what has happened to art at Disney that this somehow is supposed to excite us?
It doesn't, honestly, Alan. It doesn't look great. It doesn't look great. And it's like, I think the complicated view of the Marvel universe. Look at this. Here's a montage that should give you some idea of the homework you're going to need going in to know what the hell is going on in Avengers Doomsday. I think this will turn audiences off. I think this is a mess. There are plot threads. How are they going to tie up every post-credit scene, every loose plot thread from not only the movies, but things like the Disney Plus TV series? Any idea how they pull all this together?
Yeah, they're going to collapse the entire universe and then start over, much like they did with the comic book. The very comic book story that made me check out of Marvel once and for all.
Right. The comic book that made you stop reading Marvel.
Yeah,
comics.
and then they're making it into a movie.
They're turning it into.
Everything I've heard about it is that's exactly what's happening.
I look at this and I think, what are we even doing here? What are we doing?
Yeah, you know how, like, remember how special it was when Endgame was over and how good we felt about the Marvel universe?
Yeah.
And now it feels less special.
A lot less special.
I mean, we don't even talk about movies from that first few phases.
But I have good news for you, Alan. Good news. Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday tickets go on sale next week, and the runtime has been revealed. We have a story. I believe they go on sale Monday, very early in the morning, but it's only in Infinity Vision.
Yeah. Only
whatever
theaters,
that means.
Only theaters that offer Infinity Vision or has been certified.
Notes for this story, Alan, give it to me.
Yes. Here we go. Doomsday. Disney is launching an unusually early ticket sale for Avengers Doomsday with Infinity Vision premium format tickets going on sale July 20th, full 5 months before its December 18th release. The move comes after Warner Brothers secured many IMAX screens for Dune Part 3, prompting Disney to promote its own Infinity Vision premium format for select theaters. The early ticket launch also reveals the current runtime at 165 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes, making it longer than Avengers Infinity War, but shorter than Avengers Endgame and the Odyssey. To build excitement, Disney will re-release Avengers Endgame as Avengers Endgame Encore on September 25th with Infinity Vision screenings available.
Which, wait a second, can I pause you there?
Yeah.
Here's what you can say. Infinity Vision means you're not seeing it in IMAX. You're likely seeing it at a Dolby Cinema or a laser. If you go regularly to the AMC Burbank 16, if you cannot see a movie in the IMAX screen, the two better screens are Dolby that have reclining seats, or the laser that also has reclining seats. They're bigger screens and the image is bright, very bright.
Yeah.
That's the conceit. Anyways,
So,
sorry.
So this won't be playing at my local theater because we only have an IMAX screen.
Yes, well, I'm sure it'll be. Yeah, well, we'll see. If you would continue any other.
No, it only goes to say that it kicks off the marketing campaign at San Diego Comic-Con, which is expected to debut the film's first full trailer in Hollywood.
Well, you and I will be there. We'll be doing daily coverage from San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll be doing a special Film Threat After Dark evening show for right out of Alan and I will be at the Hall H panel, and we'll do a trailer reaction for you on Saturday night. When I say Saturday night, it'll be like maybe probably 6-7 p.m. We'll do our show and we'll go over everything we saw at the panel, and we'll be doing mostly news out of San Diego Comic-Con. I gotta say, the more I hear, the less excited I am.
Yeah.
The 4 trailers we've already seen, and you and I saw the trailer at CinemaCon. I think that's what they're going to show, and we've already seen it, and descriptions have already leaked, and people have already remade it in Legos. Are they going to show more? They better.
Yeah, I think it'll be a proper trailer. I think you'll get some kind of plot element. I think what we got was a lookbook kind of thing.
Were you blown away by that trailer?
Not until Shang-Chi and Gambit showed up facing off against one another.
Yeah. You might be. Yeah, you're fake.
I mean, it was like the arrival of the Wakandans to meet the Submariner people and the Atlanteans. I mean, I guess that was exciting.
Well, set your clocks Monday morning early. Tickets go on sale on Infinity Vision screens, whatever that means. One last Marvel news related story before we get to our main topic. Yelena has a large role in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah,
would you have guessed that, Alan?
Of course she does. No, because she's the leader of the new Avengers.
Yes, the new Avengers, which I don't know how that lawsuit is going to work out. This is from EW. Alan, do you have notes for this story? I believe you do.
Yes, I do.
Let's go.
Kevin Feige has strongly hinted that Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova will appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day, teasing that fans won't have to wait until Avengers Doomsday to see their fan favorite assassin again. Speaking at Bilibili World in Shanghai, Feige praised Yelena's upcoming role, saying, "If you're a fan of Yelena, wait until Avengers Doomsday. Yelena plays a big part in that." He then appeared to tease an earlier return, adding, "But if you don't want to wait until then, you might see Yelena a little bit sooner in the movies." Because Spider-Man Brand New Day is the only Marvel Cinematic Universe film scheduled for release before Avengers Doomsday. Fans have interpreted Feige's comments as confirmation that Yelena will cross paths with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. If true, the appearance would continue Yelena's rise as one of the MCU's central heroes following the Thunderbolts, where she helped lead the team that ultimately became the New Avengers. Feige comments also reinforce that Yelena is expected to play a significant role in the MCU moving forward, with Doomsday positioning her as one of its key players. So the question is, what is her mutant power?
Her superpower is she's been trained. So yeah. I don't know if you call that a superpower. Not all that excited. I think the movie's overstuffed. This is no more or less exciting than James Gunn announcing that Blue Beetle has a role in Superman Man of Tomorrow, which a lot of people just say, "You're still going with that? You're doing that?" Yeah. I don't know. It seems like every news item about this lands with a thud. It kind of just lands with a thud. But I didn't know about her being in Brand New Day. Does that mean that Spider-Man has a greater role in Doomsday that we may or may not know about?
Well, if this were truly the comic books, well, Spider-Man is at the center of every major story that's come out of, these crossover Marvel stuff. But I feel like he's not in Doomsday or Secret Wars.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Let's get to your comments. We'll go through everything that is non-Odyssey. We'll talk Odyssey, then we'll get to your Odyssey comments. So there you go.
Yeah. Cody C for 5. Alan, hang in there. Love and respect to you. Thank you. I do appreciate. Look, I've surpassed 13,000 followers now on X, and I see all your likes and your retweets, so I appreciate that. But man, these idiots are annoying.
Well, I respect you.
Yeah. As well, you should. Batfan for 10. I'm a newer viewer from Drinker's Channel. How did you two get into this? Is the Odyssey worth seeing at all in IMAX? I'd like to hear more about Alan's time in seminary too. Yeah, that's a long discussion.
That's a long. Let's give the short version because it's going to be.
You can thank Futurama for us meeting for the first time.
We met at a Futurama event. I said to Alan, I said, "Hey, this is 2017, I think." I said, "Hey, I could use some writers for Film Thread."
Yeah.
And Alan was very prolific. Like he just kept writing. I'm like, you should be an editor. And then just moved up this, I don't know. And then we met on wasn't it a podcast I did?
Yeah, it was Lauren's podcast.
Lauren Kling did a podcast. Yeah. Alan was the engineer.
Yeah.
And
we should also say we have had mutuals over the years without knowing each other.
Yeah, without knowing each other.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then it's like we were in the same friend circle, Comic-Con and this, and then we met, and he just started in 2017 writing, and then I don't know, the YouTube channel was just Alan did reviews, I did interviews, and we had no traction whatsoever. And I just said, we can't keep doing the same thing. It's not working. Yeah. Let's do a show. Let's just go live once a week.
Yeah. I think your words were watch FNT.
No. I said we'll review movies that come out in theaters and go to the movies on Thursday. We'll talk about them Friday morning, and that's the show. Mm-hmm. And we just kept doing that. We kept adding shows, and yeah. And we've disagreed on things, but I have the utmost respect for Alan's opinion. He's liked movies I've hated, and vice versa. So I don't know. I like also different opinions. Some people get bent out of shape when people don't agree with them.
Yeah.
I don't care. So would you like to address your time in seminary?
That's a very long story. I'll just say that today I'm considered a backslidden evangelical.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you
I'll
go.
leave it at that.
And thank you for the question, Bat fan.
Y'all suck for 5. Earlier on Neurotic, Gary said Sam Neill was a New Zealander. He was actually born in Northern Ireland. Event Horizon is his best role, in my opinion.
Thank you for the correction for the nooner and giving your super chat here instead of there.
Yes.
That's like the best thing.
Please
all day.
Continue to do that.
And as someone who's never misspoke, I'll make sure to admonish Gary. I actually will misspoke. I love when the chat goes, "Oh yes, that's right." I want to get things right.
Togo the White for 2. Elliot Page as Mick. Let's go.
Let's go. Thank you.
Albernata Retro for 2. Regarding Trump, Rocky 2 humanized Apollo a lot.
Yeah. All those movies are underrated.
I know. I love Rocky 2. David JD for 5. How as the music? Let's move on. Let's see. Yeah. Do you want to talk Nolan overrated?
I'm skipping.
Okay, we'll skip it. Albernata Retro for 10. I'll dispense with the opener. You should check out the documentary The Last Round, Kuvalo versus Ali. You want to see how rigged boxing is? Watch that. By the way, George Kuvalo was the first guy to go the distance with Ali.
Wow, that's impressive. Thank you.
I saw a documentary recently about corruption in early boxing. It's interesting. Spoiler: Ali won with the fight by decision, but it was Kuvalo who went out dancing with his wife while Ali was in the hospital with bleeding kidneys. So much for the point system.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Why don't we skip
Oh
that?
no, we'll skip that. Sorry about that.
Yeah. 200 watt studio for 2. Extra footage won't make Endgame any less a mess. I like that.
Mhm.
I like Endgame. Although Leoqui, here's a scientific flowchart so you can try to follow the multiple attempts at a story.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt became a YouTube member. Yeah, Andrew Cram, 603210. What about solo John Walker Captain America Elseworld film? Because I would watch that.
That character is great and was misused, I believe.
We need to go back to white Captain America. Really?
Yeah.
JCPRX. Member for 45 months. Even Yelena is not a fan of Yelena.
Funny.
Yeah, remember when they tried to force Roman Reigns on us? That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Rob Che for 159 Australian. Alan, Integrity Fund. I don't always agree with your takes, but I respect your commitment to your convictions. In a space where many chase trends, you and Chris have stayed consistent. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. We try to we care also about movies that a lot of people don't talk about. I just got this the DVD of Nirvana the band, the show, the movie, and it's got 2 commentary tracks.
Okay,
I'm so pumped. One of my favorite movies of the year, just which almost no one else has talked about.
I'm trying to find the vinyl for Song Sung Blue.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Kung Fu Hot Dog for 2525. Dear Chris Allen, in the cult that is Hollywood, have you both heard and witnessed things that you swore never to talk about? Your Odyssey out of theater reaction is the stuff of legend. Enjoy Comic-Con and coffee.
Well, thank you, Kung Fu Hot Dog. Appreciate the soup. I haven't really heard stories like that. I haven't heard things of the cult. I do know that a lot of actors here seem damaged. I'll just say that. They seem damaged. I'll bet they've seen things. But I don't know about it personally.
Yeah, neither do I.
And this one, I like what
Franklin Sterling. Yes, Film Threat is way better than FNT. Yes, because we are shorter.
Yeah, we're a shorter show. We respect your time. We do about a 2-hour show, and sometimes we do go long. But this may be one of those shows.
We could certainly talk over each other more.
We could talk over each other more. Why don't we start doing that?
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, Alan. I think it's time. And wait, I have to do something. I'm gonna I gotta do something here. It'll just be a second.
I do a chat real quick.
Yeah, do a couple more chats.
Here we go. It's from Brian Boru. Way better, fewer arseholes. Yes, probably 6 less arseholes.
Wait, I don't know what's going on here. What is this? Something is wrong, folks. Apologies for this. Alan, let me get you back here. What happened? That was weird. Okay. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Yeah. We'll get to your comments that are Odyssey related after we do our review.
I feel like
some feel a
like
lot
there's a
wasn't
bit
made over the big chat. What do you mean?
What?
I don't know what that means. Big chat?
What are you talking about? What did you just read?
Lori? The big chat.
The what? Some feel a lot wasn't made over the big chat. There was a large chat.
Was that we didn't know? Thank you. I didn't know what was it from?
Are you talking about Monday, or are you talking about the one that just came?
The one in red. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And my apologies. Put in a chat for nothing and I'll go crazy after the Odyssey. I'm sorry about that. That's a big one. But I didn't know what it was. From what was it, Australian or?
Yes. And yeah, we should point out that Australia, the conversion rate's pretty equal, pretty close.
All right, Alan, it's time. Let's talk about the Odyssey. It's time to talk the Odyssey. You saw our Out of the Theater review. Let's go into it. Alan, your review posted on Film Threat, and I'm not going to bury the lead. You gave it a 4 out of 10. Tell us why and tell us what's in your review.
Tell us why. I mean, I mentioned it. It's probably one of the most pretentious movies I've seen in a long time. Look, this should have been an epic. And I'll say this, just because you make an epic, it doesn't mean that it isn't epic or should be treated as thus. And the immediate comparison has to be Lord of the Rings. This one just, I don't know. There was so much wrong with this movie. I'll start with the acting. You mentioned it before, and I mentioned it then. I was seeing Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland on screen as Matt Damon, Anne Hathaway, and Tom Holland. There was very little effort given to characterization. I will say that there was only really one actor who gave, I think, the best characterization. That's probably Samantha Morton as the witch,
as Circe.
As Circe. It's like, she brought this energy to this film that just wasn't there. The dialogue, I mean, I've never seen. Look, I saw your review of on the Nooner today. You said that Anne Hathaway was overly emotional and crying. My feeling was that Anne Hathaway was fine. It was her supporting actors who were so low energy that it made her performance look over the top. I just, the Matt Damon was just so glum and one note in terms of deliverance of lines that was just like, there's no energy here. This is like Rock playing Maui. There is just no energy going on here. And there's a lot of things that you like that I just didn't feel. The Cyclops scene, I mean, quite frankly, seen it done better. And
you've never been really a fan of horror.
No, but I've seen those kind of monsters in Lord of the Rings. Quite frankly, I saw it in Harry Potter as well, and they were better in those two movies. It was like I'm watching a movie from what should be a master director, and everything about this movie doesn't feel special in any way, other than the fact that it was shot on an IMAX camera, and that it's supposed to be his epic. The fight scenes, the war scenes, they sneak out of the Trojan horse. I'm like, I've seen all this before. I've seen it all before. And then this theme of, I want to go home. It's been so long. I want to go home. And then Tom Holland's character, I want my daddy back. My daddy's still alive. I want him to come back. How many times do you have to say that throughout the entire movie? How many times do we have to get the point? And the thing is, that's a great story. That's a great theme for a story, but it was so mishandled here that it just felt labored. That's what you build a movie around, is this desire to be a family once again. And it just felt like, well, look, if we say we want to go home, then therefore you're going to buy into it and buy into the fact that we've earned that. And this is the thing. This is what I'll say about this entire movie. Nothing is earned. The plot is not earned. Everything we want to feel about the family getting back together is not earned. We'll talk more about the Elliot Page character, but there's an arc in that character that is not earned. Nothing is earned in any way. There's the whirlpool scene. I have never seen a more a tense moment that felt no tension whatsoever than that whirlpool scene. And I'll say that it felt like Christopher Nolan had shot an 8-hour movie and had to cut it down to 3 hours, because that was the problem with the editing, is that there's no chance to breathe. Because once one scene's over, snap, we're in another scene. And it felt like it was just a series of highlight scenes throughout the entire movie. There was just no moment to rest, to breathe, and let an emotional moment sink in. And I'll give you. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll end on two things. One is, so obviously this is the War of Troy, and then the return back, and they face monsters, and every time they face danger and then have to run away from the danger, I kept thinking to myself of Monty Python, where they're selling "Run away, run away." I mean, there are at least 3 times where I just kept thinking, "Run away, run away." And then, of course, we talk about the time shifting of Christopher Nolan. There's a lot of time shifting in this as well. There's a moment, so I won't. I'm prefacing it by saying you don't know when this is in the movie, but there's a moment where there's a conversation between Odysseus and Penelope that felt like theater, community theater to me. Like it was set up on a stage, and there's just no emotion in it. It just felt like they were just reciting lines. And then I lied. I'll end on this one last one. The Athena character. There's a point to the character at the end that just didn't feel earned. Like it was tacked on to say, hey, this is every emotion you should have felt while watching the film, and we're going to bring it to you at the very end. And so now you get it. And by then I was like, how many times did I roll my eyes in this movie? How many times did I sigh at just the bad dialogue and the bad acting? I think it's at 98% now on Rotten Tomatoes. Me and 2 others make up that 2%. And the more I think about it, I can't get myself to like this movie at all. The more I think about it, I do ask myself once in a while, am I wrong? And I think about what I saw, and it's like, I'm not wrong. This is just, again, spoiler alert, the Emperor is naked.
Let me give you my take, because I agree with you on some things. Let's start with some of the things that I enjoyed. Chris Nolan could straight up make a horror film. The scenes with the Cyclops, being portrayed as a sympathetic monster, the puppetry of this giant Cyclops, which I would compare to, if you've ever seen, I haven't seen this play, there's a King Kong play on Broadway where they have an animatronic puppet Kong.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think, how they may have done that effect using photo trickery and some giant props, which were really effective.
Which they stole from a Universal Studios tour.
Yeah, the scene with Circe turning the men into pigs, that I thought was straight up out of a Ken Russell, The Devil's horror film in the 70s.
Best moment in the film.
It was one of the best moments. There are other moments of sheer terror. There are moments that should have felt epic, but I feel like I've seen bigger, more epic things in other movies like Lord of the Rings. Chris Nolan is very married to not using CGI in his movies, and for that I commend him. But I expected the movie to look better. It's very muted, the color. I expected it to be bigger in scale. There's a scene where we see maybe, is it 1,000 men? I don't think it is. Might be a few hundred, but I was really waiting for that giant scale. Didn't happen. So I like, there were moments that are familiar to me, having seen various versions of the Odyssey, that I thought were very well done. But then I felt the same, in a similar way to how I felt when I saw Matt Reeves' The Batman, where I really loved parts of the Batman, mostly the beginning, Robert Pattinson's portrayal of Batman. But there are things I really didn't like. There are things that do not work in the Batman, and that is true here. First up, the modern language really just lands with a thud. It diminishes the weight and the scale and the gravitas of what should be more classical language. I mean, that to me is why did he do that? He was trying to be modern. It reminds me of another deconstruction, because what we see is through the Odysseus character, he's kind of imbued with PTSD from this war, and he needs to go home. He needs to go home, but he is traumatized by all of his experiences, right? And I feel in a way like the movie El Topo by Alejandro Jodorowsky is a deconstruction of the Western made in the 70s, which became a very big cult film. It kind of created that genre. Midnight Movie. That movie is very weird. There are aspects of this that are weird in that way where it's sort of modern. Feels like it's set in modern times, telling a classic story. So it's similar in that aspect. The language did not work for me. Straight up, a character says, fuck off to someone in the film. You are correct. I agree with you on this point. It was hard to see the characters. I saw the actors. I saw Matt Damon. I saw Anne Hathaway. I really saw John Leguizamo, but I don't feel like I saw the characters. I saw those actors. Lupita Nyong'o, the controversial casting, let's talk about that. She's barely in the movie. Yeah. Under 5 minutes tops screen time.
both characters she plays.
Playing both characters. She is disfigured, which is something we didn't see in any of the trailers. And look, Nolan's concept for her being the most beautiful woman might have been that she's exotic to the Greeks because she doesn't look like one, or what one would think. This was his take. It didn't sideline the movie for me. The big change was Elliot Page as Sinan, as the soldier who, and we're going to get a little spoilery here because this is not part of the original story. Sinan is a soldier that is left behind to trick the Trojans into accepting the gift of the colossal horse, which they drag beyond the gates of Troy, which is how the men, we know the story. Sinan was never told there were soldiers in there and sacrificed his life being killed by the Trojans. So in the very beginning of the movie, Sinan is killed in a way, killed off. Sinan return. We learn then that Sinan was swapped out by Robert Pattinson's character. I believe it's Antinos. He's one of the suitors trying to win the affection of Penelope. And he, as a young boy, tricked Sinan and swapped out. So Sinan goes to war while Antinos stays behind.
In the place of.
The place of Antinos. And really, Elliot Page plays, I would not say a young man, plays a boy, small in stature. And this bookends the story where we see Sinan's, sacrifice and death, then is a proxy for Achilles in Hades, where Odysseus goes to visit Hades to see the dead and meet Sinan, who is angry that Sinan was felt betrayed. Then we see it bookended at the end with the conclusion of Antinos. So Sinan is a very significant, although the screen time may not be large, a significant addition to the story. And I'm telling you now, I predict Elliot Page will be nominated for Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. I'm not sure about a win. It's very possible. Maybe they'll give it to Elliot Page. Elliot Page could very well win Best Supporting Actor for the Odyssey.
Yeah, because they couldn't do it with Emilia Perez.
I'm saying it now because the role has such weight. Hey, they say you want to win an Oscar, what do? Die in your movie. You die in your movie. And one line, Odysseus says, Sinon is the greatest soldier he's ever known.
Mhm.
That is the biggest problem I have with the movie. So you've got some of these amazing sequences with Circe and turning men to pigs, the Cyclops, like other sequences I thought were the siren sequence I think was too short for me. It's in the film, but it's very brief. A lot of things he was basically cliff noting other parts of the story. Okay. And I think it really hurt. But I think the biggest thing is the modern language. And I thought I agree with you, Alan, that the actors, I was seeing the actor and not the characters.
Yeah.
What is it?
Back.
So, but let
quick.
me finish.
Oh, yeah,
let me finish. Then we'll discuss. The movie is a mixed bag, but like every Nolan film, I'll see it the first time and like, okay, I need to think about that. Oppenheimer, I really disliked the first time I saw it and grew to really, it was the musical score. The score in this film is not memorable. And the score in previous Nolan films does so much of the heavy lifting. A lot of the heavy lifting is from the score. Okay. And the music here, I didn't think was that great or that memorable. And it bothered me that the score wasn't in previous Nolan films, Dark Knight, Oppenheimer, Inception, like Interstellar, some of the great scores, even Tenet had a really amazing score. And it's not there for this movie. It's probably one of the worst scores for a Nolan film. Yeah. And a lot of the scores for his movies really pull the movie along. So that I had an issue with. So it's a mixed bag. You rated it a 4. I would probably be more between a 5 and a 6 at this point. However, I will see it a second time. I'm going to see it a second time and see if I notice new things. I know you're done. You're not going to see it.
I'm done.
You're done. You're not going to see it a second time. But let's really talk about where this ranks. Here are Nolan's scores. Currently, the Odyssey stands at 98%. I think you brought it down.
Yeah.
His top movies, Dark Knight, 94%, Oppenheimer, 94%, Memento, 93%, Dunkirk, 92%, Insomnia, 92%, Dark Knight Rises, 87%, Inception, 87%, Batman Begins, 84%, that's too low, Prestige, 76%, Interstellar, 73%, Following, 82%, Tenet, 60%. What? 69%. So I'll end with mixed bag. If forced to give a rating between 5 and 6, I will see it again, give it another chance. Alan, discussion point.
Yeah. See it again, because maybe this time the Titanic won't sink. The other thing is, I mentioned before, but what was how did they describe the Elliot Page character? The
greatest soldier I've ever known.
Yeah. And how did you realize that they were the greatest soldier ever known?
Because Odysseus said it in a line of dialogue.
Yeah. So the battle sequences in which the person, Elliot Page's character, was that didn't impress you? All the battle scenes and fight scenes? Because why?
Because character got killed immediately.
Yeah, there were no. The reason you, again, didn't earn it. The reason this person is the greatest warrior ever known is because we're told that. As the worst kind of storytelling you can bring to a movie.
Well, Elliot Page is in the movie, I think, portrayed as a boy that became a sacrifice.
And that could be considered greatness, I guess. To sacrifice yourself. But again, what qualifications did that character have to be in that place in the first place?
Now, let's talk about where this movie is going to land. This is not going to bomb. The spectacle alone and Nolan's reputation this movie will be, I think, very big.
It will have a spectacular. Let me just. They'll have a
Please.
spectacular opening weekend,
Yes.
partly because most of the screenings that people are buying tickets for are the 70 millimeter IMAX, which is a premium price right off the bat.
IMAX screens are packed for 3 weeks.
The
Okay.
IMAX 70 millimeters, yes.
Yes, are packed for 3 weeks. However, tickets are readily available for all the other screenings.
For the Infinity Vision theaters.
But don't count out Nolan. His movies don't do like 200. They make modest. When I say modest, that's understatement. They make solid money first weekend, and then his movies have legs because it becomes a cultural event to see the movie so you can talk about it. So we'll see where it ends up landing box office. But one thing I can guarantee you, it's going to get all the technical awards, the tech awards. It's going to win or be nominated. There is a new category that just was this year. Casting director wins an award. This will not only get nominated, it will win because casting Elliot Page, casting Lupita Nyong'o is a statement. And basically Chris Nolan, it's his choice in the end. The casting director is probably going to get an award because the voting members of the Academy are going to make a statement with their vote. And so you're going to see Odyssey is the movie to beat at the Oscars. Good luck. It's got a whole lot of them locked up now. Box office, we'll see in the coming weeks. Final thoughts, Alan, and we'll go to comments.
Sorry, Project Hail Mary. You had a great run, and it's no one will care about your movie because this is the greatest movie ever made, as I'm being told constantly on my X feed.
Well, I think there is a bit of fear from critics to say how they really feel. Yeah. And I know this because you and I have been going to critic screenings together for years.
Yeah.
And you see there's like a group think of like almost a fear to say what you really think. And I think there are other aspects of society now where people are in fear of saying what they really think about the truth of the world. But we're talking movies here and critics. And really, you're seeing on Rotten Tomatoes, it's really going to be about that audience score. I don't expect the audience score to be low at all. I think it'll be solid. I don't think 98%, but it'll be solid. We'll know by Monday. But this is going to win a lot of Oscars. And Elliot Page, Best Supporting Actor, mark my words.
And there are a lot of MAGA chuds like D-Day Cobra who will just praise anything that comes Nolan. Sorry, Jeremy, I just had to respond to what you said about me.
Let's go to comments. And we have an interview and more news. This is a big show today.
David JD for 5.
Susan, I see you in the background. We're gonna be reading chat comments.
Yeah. So bring them on. David JD for 5. How was the music? I thought that maybe the music would be better than people thought. Was my prediction correct? No.
The music is
it's of its time.
There in the bad sound mix.
It's of its time. Also, I can't wait for that song at the end of the movie to be performed at the Academy Awards. I will be looking forward to that. The end credit song. I want to see that performed at the Academy Awards.
Thank you.
Pilgrim Media for 2. Guys, would you say Nolan is overrated? I mean,
no, I don't think he's overrated. I don't think he's overrated. I mean, name a director. They're just like few in his group. I think he may have overstepped with this.
I think so. I think it was a big mistake to do this in IMAX, use IMAX cameras, because I felt like we might have gotten better shots, more interesting shots, had it not been on a giant IMAX camera. I don't know. I appreciate the art, but I don't think it worked in this case. Noido Dev for 5. Odyssey, feminist messaging, criticizing male privilege, lack of female nudity, sirens not being in it, feminist grievances, reframing of the witch.
All of that. That like we touch. I'm gonna see it again. We'll talk more on Friday, but yeah, it's all there.
Okay, so I'll talk about The Witch. There was definitely, from The Witch's perspective, a anti-male, toxic male message, but it was very much it was basically a counter to that saved them in terms of, dare I say, standing up for men is what got him out of that situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and thank you very much. Very generous.
Pilgrimage for 2. Sorry, Chris, if I put you on the spot. Yeah,
I'm what? I don't care. I'm here to entertain.
As long as you're doing well.
Thank you.
All that counts.
I appreciate it.
Nashville Guitars for 2. Jeremy Johns posted a glowing review. Interesting.
First of all,
That's
everyone, yeah, look, I respect Jeremy. I know him IRL. I've hung out with him. He has a right to his view. I felt differently. I love differences of opinions.
I feel like we could say that we are friends with Jeremy Johns.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
Joey D for 10. Do you think the Odyssey's marketing team ginned up the race swap backlash on purpose? How many critics gave high ratings just because of the backlash? Yeah.
I think that's true. I think that's true. And yeah, they leaned into controversy, and do they think that helps? It's bizarre, but thank you. Very generous. $10.
It's just the small amount of time that Lupita Nyong'o is in this movie amazes me. Is like, why did you bother doing this movie in the first place if you're not going to be in the movie that long?
Yes.
The 1A train for 10. Of the 2, you have to pick one and only one to remain in your film library. Wolfgang Petersen's Troy or Nolan's The Odyssey. Which one do you pick? Yeah, guess which one I would pick.
Troy.
Yeah.
Thanks, the 1A train. Appreciate it.
Mumblewick for 20. Batman was boring. True.
Which Batman?
So
the Batman?
Had to be the first one.
I like the 66 one. Because I know when people are punching, it says kapow or karak. Thank you, Mumblewick, for 20.
Or the fact that he carries shark repellent in his utility belt at all times. Andrew Cram for 10. Does Ellen Page do her own stunts?
Well, if the stunt is getting killed, then she did.
Yes.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate
I believed it. Logan Misiak for 5. When you guys are watching the film, did you guys feel like you were watching a Greek epic poem come to life, or did the actors feel out of place?
Well, first of all, epic poem come to life? No. Modern telling? Yes. The actors, again, as Alan pointed out, and I agree with him, the actors feel like the actors, not the characters. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Your barmaid for 2. Are there knockers in the siren scenes?
No, they're not. It's done very tastefully in the distance.
Yes.
And yeah, that scene was disappointing. It's there, but disappointing.
Well, it's like the whirlpool scene, exactly like it. 200-watt studio for 2. Who did Achilles? Who did play Achilles in the film?
Not in the film. As I said, Sinan replaces Achilles in the Hades sequence. And thank you, 200-watt studio.
Patio.
Good to see you back. I haven't seen you in a while. Sorry.
Patty Oliveira, super chat for 50.
50. Thank you.
I wonder if you meant to say something.
You meant to say something. Thank you.
I'll try to find it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Joe Sapienza over 10. I know I got that wrong. Agamemnon's silhouette is best actor. Helen, if cast as a meek, small, helpless blonde, would have hit way harder. Paige was a rough-looking teen, too little Greek. Felt almost Nordic to me.
Yeah, you're right about Agamemnon's silhouette, which was Benny Safdie, right? It was Benny Safdie, one of the Safdies.
Sure.
One of the Safdies played, yes, it was Benny Safdie played Agamemnon. It's just big and tall, and he barely does anything.
Yeah, and like everyone else in the movie, barely in the movie.
Yeah, true. Thank you for that.
Not another name for 5. Odyssey could have been done indie style, Everyone is tired of blockbusters.
Yeah, it could have been done on a smaller scale and felt bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to feel more in the film.
Harry Brownhole for 2. If sirens were in it, Cynthia Erivo would have been them.
Missed opportunity. Thank you, Harry Brownhole.
John Kokuza for 10. As I posted on X, Chris, Alan, and Jeremy all have different takes. Only makes me want to see the movie because I highly respect their opinions and I personally want to see the differences they saw.
Well, thank you, John Kokuza. Good to hear from you. Maybe we'll see you in San Diego.
Yes, and I have seen your posts on my timeline.
Yeah, I saw your post too. So yeah, look, I won't say this movie's divisive, but people are gonna walk away with different things. Thank you, John.
But 98% it's not divisive, apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not feeling it, but it's not divisive. Jeff Romantics, Mayor for 30 months. Guess I'll skip and watch My Neighbor Totoro instead.
Yeah.
Oh, then don't watch my review of that movie.
I'm gonna run to take a quick bathroom break. But while I'm doing that, you can admire the bust of my face. I Odyssey'd my face. So there you go.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back, Alan. Start from the bottom up, and I'll be right back.
And to our guests in the green room, we'll be with you shortly when Chris gets back. Christopher Moonlight Productions. I feel like Christopher Nolan's spell is breaking and people are realizing his movies were never good. Bad acting, nonsense scripts, and taking other people's interesting ideas and making them boring. I don't know about that, but definitely with this one, I would agree with you. Yabarmi for 2. No T1T ties tax. I have no idea what that means. Okay. Bill S. President Esquire 69. There's an old joke meme about if you could insert one F-bomb in Lord of the Rings, where would you put it? It feels like Chris Nolan took this as a challenge. He did it twice. It's in there twice. All right. Moving on to Noah Frager. 999. Who remembers Vanessa Williams as Calypso in the 97 TV version of the Odyssey? Yes, please. Yes, Vanessa Williams. Very attractive. Aaron Sharman. Robert Pattinson was the standout actor. I don't really have a lot of negative things to say about Robert Pattinson. He's the bad guy and does it well. Jay Molnar for 10. Alan, remember DEI didn't earn it. Yeah. That's the entire movie. 8-bit Snake Boy. That poster seems like an honest depiction of the movie. Bland, boring, and empty. Yeah. Brian Boru. I do trust Alan's take regarding the score, the pacing, and the ability to see the actors as characters.
Well, there you are. And we're going to talk more. We have a couple more news stories. We'll get to your comments. But you know that we love to support indie filmmakers on the channel. And we have a special guest today to talk to you. It's in a cold vein, filmmaker Eric Owen. He's here to talk to us about his latest film. Let's bring him on the show.
Hello.
Eric.
Am I on?
Hey.
You're on. Good to see you.
Wow. Good to see y'all. Yeah, I came on and I just a Nolan bashing session is what I walked into.
Well,
everyone loves Nolan.
It's mixed,
yeah.
Alan and I are kind of, Alan did not like it. I'm kind of mixed on it.
Okay.
I love the discussion of movies. I love that discussion. Why are we all here? We love film.
We love film. And yeah, if everything was great, it wouldn't be fun to talk about. And if everything was terrible, then it wouldn't be fun to talk about either. So yeah, it's good. It's nice when it sounds like there's a divided opinion, which makes for an interesting conversation, I guess. So that's cool.
Exactly. Yeah, and there are alternatives to that movie available as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So I guess people had seen it. I had heard nothing. Everything I've been fed is that it's this masterpiece and amazing. I'm going to see it in IMAX this weekend, so I'm excited. I'll have my own opinion. We'll see. We'll see where I land.
Yeah,
have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like also hearing if someone liked or disliked something. Why? What are your reasons for liking or disliking? And you learn something. And sometimes your opinion can be changed. I like to. Oh, I didn't see that. know?
Yeah, as long as it's not someone just saying, I didn't like it, I thought it was dumb. Well, then that's not really offering much.
That's not really a thing. But let's talk about your movie, In a Cold Vein.
Sure.
What led you to this project?
So I had several scripts out that had various, a bunch of people hopped on, a bunch of executive producers and bigger budgets. And they just, as I'm sure a lot of people know, in the film business, there's sometimes things just stall out. And I was having a hard time getting some bigger projects made. So I just decided, like, well, what can I make just now? And I was like, the initial idea, which didn't end up being what it was, but I'm just going to make a movie in a van that just drives around in a van. That's a terrible idea, ultimately. So, but what I saw was I saw the first shot of the film. I saw that immediately in my mind, like, oh, what if we're really close, fading in as someone wakes up, and then we pull out, and then the audience as well as the character realize at the same time that they're bound and gagged in the back of a van. And then then it creates this mystery. Well, how did they get there? Why are they there? So it just started from that shot, really just the first shot of the film. And then it kind of built out from there. And I really liked the idea. I wanted to do 3 thriller subgenres within the context of a thriller movie, but kind of exploring 3 different areas. So that's kind of where it came from, just wanting to make something and having that image in my head and just building it out from there.
We've got the trailer queued up here. Let's share it with our audience. We'll watch it together.
Please.
And I'm sure that will spur some questions. Let's take a look. Here we go.
Yeah.
The truth is, I don't know where to begin. I've been hiding for so long.
Where's my son? You have any idea who my brother is?
I can't go on living my life with this.
Did you get him? Yeah. My son is missing!
What do you mean he's missing?
He was in his bedroom when I was taken away.
Hey, where are you going?
Let me out here.
No stops. You'll never be able to understand why I'm doing this.
Last chance.
I don't know.
Where is he?
I've been hiding the truth for so long. With love in relief, Dean.
Damn.
There it is.
All right.
That was the Odyssey I wanted to see.
Yes, it is the Odyssey. It's an Odyssey in a way.
So tell us what went into the casting. How do you put something together like on the like run and gun like that?
Yeah. So yeah, I knew for the main character of Dean, I needed someone that, he's an anti-hero. Everyone in the film, with the exception of the kid, is essentially a criminal. So I wanted to create this world where everyone's a criminal to some extent. But I wanted Dean, who's the main character, to be also likable. So I went to specifically an Austin talent agent's page and I just spent a couple hours looking at the actors represented from this talent agency, their reels, and I popped onto Evan, who ended up getting the role. And Evan has been on a lot of TV shows like Fear the Walking Dead and Mad Men, and he was an American Sniper, which is on his reel. And I saw that, and the one that really got me, he was on a show that I can't recall the name of, but who's the character? His name was Omar on The Wire, whatever that actor's name was. Do you know who I'm talking about? He was in a scene with him, and that scene was just so powerful. It's like, wow, if I can get this guy. So I didn't know him at all, and I forgot that this had happened until we did our premiere at Beyond Fest. That he reminded me that I reached out to him via Instagram, which I didn't remember doing. I knew he connected somehow, but I didn't realize it was just I slid into his DMs. And at the time, my first movie is called Thirst, so my Instagram handle was Thirst. So he's like, "Who's this guy named Thirst DMing me?" And that's how I found him, and we just connected, and he loved the script, and he just got the character right away. And my God, he is the movie to me. So that's how he got involved, and we're actually good buds now, and we're about to shoot our next movie next month. So together.
You said everyone's a criminal in the movie. Is it set in California?
Yeah, right. It's actually it's never stated where it is. It's kind of anywhere. Yeah, it's a undetermined location.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We've got questions and comments from our audience.
By the way, chat is saying it was Michael K. Williams.
Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, Michael K. Williams. That's his name.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's go to the chat. There are a lot of people watching live. Let's see what they have to say. Their comments. Go ahead, Alan.
All right, John Kokoza. Yeah, I'm sold on this film already. 100% will watch.
You're a smart man, John.
Yes, Lord Thoth, I'm in.
Also smart.
Shattered Dimensions. Film looks dope. Can't wait to see it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Davina Duckwood, does he have a particular set of skills?
Well played. Very well played. Not particular, but yeah, you can get some stuff done. But that's very funny.
Let's see. Super Frandaman for 249. What were your influences for making this movie?
Yeah, so there's several different ones that are very different for so many reasons. So for me, the film has two tonal halves, if that makes sense. So I look at it as like a reverse Barbarian. It genre-wise, it has nothing to do with Barbarian, but to me, Barbarian I love because the first half is so creepy and intense, and then all of a sudden we flip and it's Justin Long and it's fun and weird and goofy. So this is kind of the opposite of that, where the first half, while it's intense, it's a very dark situation. There's a lot of comedy and just like a little bit of silliness, not campiness, but like there's a little bit of silliness to it that then we get to the second half, which is just an intense, kind of bummer. And that first half, so going back to that first half, the silliness, a lot of that was modeled after a very specific Sopranos episode called Pine Barrens. If fans of The Sopranos know, it's kind of one of the most beloved episodes where Christopher Moltisanti and Paulie Gaultieri get lost in the woods trying to kill this Russian guy. And it's a dark situation, but it's just their dynamic. They're idiots, and it's just hilarity ensues. So that was a big inspiration on the first kind of act of my movie. So those are two big inspirations. And then from a performance perspective, Training Day, Ethan Hawke's desperation when he's in this situation. Specifically, the one I really drove home with a lot of my actors is watch the scene where he's with the Latino gangsters and he knows that Denzel's character has screwed him over, and just that desperation. That was a big inspiration. And the final one, which I didn't even realize until later, my favorite movie of all time is The Fugitive. And I didn't even think about that until I saw a review, actually very recently. This is Beyond Film Festival. Someone mentioned The Fugitive. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I guess, yeah, that kind of crept its way in there because that is my favorite movie of all time.
Now, you mentioned that the production was on hold a lot. Can you talk about persistence and what finally got you the green light?
Yeah, the final thing was just literally just not. I ended up spending some of the money myself and just saying, I can't wait for anything. I'm just gonna go do it, and then hopefully it pays off in the long run, which it has, and I'm very excited about. And really just ended up honestly having less days to shoot than would have been ideal. So just making it work and just persevering, and having the big thing with indie film is just having everyone being on the same page and being excited, because without that, if you have people that are lackadaisical, it's just not going to work. And I was very fortunate that everyone that was involved was 100% committed and just stoked to wanted to make something fun and cool. And it's a crew that I will keep using, and actors that I have used before and will again keep using. Specifically, Evan and I now already working on our next project next month. So
We learned from the I Play Rocky trailer that Stallone wrote his script in 3.5 days.
Yeah.
So Batfan99 for 2 asks tips for writing for script.
Absolutely. That's a great question. I get that. I have a lot of friends that they say, "Oh, I have an idea for a script." The first thing is forget about writing a script first. Write a story. So forget about, because script writing is very format heavy. You need to learn how to format a script. But first, write a story. This happen, have your characters. This happens, then this happens, then this happens. Write your plot, your characters. Just write that out first. And once you have that and really work on that, then the way I learned how to write scripts is I took 3 movies that I knew fairly well, and I read their script. This is for the formatting. So yeah, first write your story. Then to learn how to write a script, I read the script of the movie I liked. Then I watched the movie after reading it, and then I watched the movie while reading the script and pausing it to kind of figure out, oh, that's how they did that beat there. That's how that makes sense. So that's just how I did it. And I think it's a pretty good way to learn how to do it. But just write a story first. Just do that.
Can you mention that movie?
So it was Her, American, Her, American Beauty. Sorry, it's 4. Her, American Beauty, Whiplash, and the original Halloween.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ALS 24. As a musician who has transitioned into filmmaking, what are the skills that were similar and help you direct, and what skills do you need to develop the most?
Yeah. So a big thing that I think helps as a musician is just collaboration. And if you're someone that's willing to collaborate in an open way, so while I'm the director and I have final say, I'm a firm believer of just best idea wins. Doesn't matter who it is. So if you're in a musical group that gets along well and and doing well, usually there's a good back and forth. Even if there is someone calling the shots, it's good to have that where everyone has a say and an option. So as a director, I really like to bring that. The things I had to learn a lot were, I'm very adept at sound. So as far as post-production sound and sound design, I know the language of sound. I had to learn the language of photography a lot because I knew some of it. I'd written scripts for so long before I directed anything, but when it came to directing, I really had to learn a lot more about photography and apertures and things like that. So it's and that's something I'm still learning. So it's really good to surround yourself with people that know more. And as a director, you need to have all little skills in at least everything. You got to have your hand in all the little pots, but it's best to surround yourself with other people that are experts in those pots, in those fields, so that know more.
All right, John Kakuza for 5. Eric, can you tell us what camera system you use? Red, Blackmagic, etc. What was your most used lens? Also, what brand of production lights did you use?
Absolutely, yeah. So for this one, we use a Sony FX6 because this film takes place almost entirely at night. So the Sony FX series is really good in low light situations. So that was our camera we used, and then the main lens. We used a 35 most of the time. There were some longer lenses. We had one, I can't remember the zoom lens we used on the very first shot. I honestly don't remember what that one was. And we were using, it was a Lycra prime lenses. I'm dying to shoot anamorphic, but it just wouldn't have worked for this movie. And honestly, the brand of lights, I honestly don't remember. I wish I could tell you, but I don't remember.
All right, Gone Bats for 199. Write the story first. That's great advice. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks,
yeah, just
John.
because so many people, friends of mine, I have this idea for a movie. It's that's great because it is very daunting to look at a script if you've never read one before, and if you want to write one and just see it, and you're just what does this all mean? Just this thing's capitalized, and there's all these. It's a confusing nomenclature that if you don't know it, it's intimidating. You think oh, I can't do this. So don't worry about that first. Just get a story, get characters. Yeah.
And last question here from Razorburn, who's a member.
Eric,
hey, Razorburn.
Yes.
Yeah. Eric, you are a fan of horror. Ever plan to create one?
Absolutely. So two things. I did my band is a band called Black Pistol Fire, and I did on our last tour, I shot a found footage horror movie where my addictions came back to haunt me, and I am shooting a hybrid found footage slash slasher film next month. So yeah, like I love horror, and I'm very specific with horror though, in that I'm not crazy about maybe like torture porn kind of stuff. Those don't really do it for me. Love a good slasher or a ridiculous slasher. Sleepaway Camp is amazing. It's one of my favorite movies. I loved the last Friday the 13th. I mean, I love the old ones too, but the one that came out in like 2010, that Friday the 13th, I thought was incredible. So love a good slasher. Yeah, I can't wait. I have, of the scripts I have, probably half of them are horror. They're half horror, half thriller. So the next one is going to be a horror.
And so In a Cold Vein is out on VOD now or in theaters?
On Friday, VOD.
On Friday, VOD. Check it out. Eric, thank you so much for coming on the show to talk to us today. When this found footage movie comes out, please, will you come back and talk to us?
Yeah, let me send it to you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Eric. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Congrats
Appreciate it.
on the movie. Talk to you soon.
Enjoy the show.
Later.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was great. Love talking to filmmakers. Love it. But we've got more news and chat comments. Let's get to those right here.
All right. Sewer Fan Demand for $5.99. Does John Bernthal have a big role in this movie? Does he say his iconic, "Let me tell you something" catchphrase? Or does he have good chemistry with Tom?
I mean, yes, he's in the film. He does have, a scene. He does have a sequence with Tom.
He is the husband of Helena.
Yeah, he's John Bernthal.
Yeah.
He's actually one of the more convincing, because John Bernthal is, for the most part, a character actor.
Mm-hmm.
He might be one of the best in the movie, if you ask me. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, John Bernthal, name says it all. I get one other question we got was, what did you think of Robert Pattinson?
I liked him. I thought he was one of the better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
So he actually is very different in this movie. He's kind of a weasel in a way.
And he does it very well. People like playing villains.
He's so good.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, we have so many. Should we get into some of these other news stories? I think maybe we'll save them for Friday. Oh, let's do this.
Either one.
Sorry, Alan.
I mean, it's like I think I don't have notes for any other notes. Oh no, I do have one more.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about Netflix description of Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is one of the classic Hollywood epics that, it's I saw it as a kid in the theater. This is from our friend Valiant Renegade, who took this off the screen. And I'll say, I recently canceled my Netflix subscription. I have had a subscription since when they did discs. I've always had it. I recently canceled it after Gina Carano lost her fight. I thought, well, I'm good. Valiant Renegade, the Netflix description of Gone with the Wind is the most amazing synopsis of all time. Alan, will you read this?
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, go for it.
A 1939. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Okay. A 1939 American Civil War epic known for its racism. To learn more about Black lives in America, search Black Lives Matter.
That is a horrible description of that movie. It does such disrespect to the film. This is Netflix bowing to some political action organization, which has been attached to a lot of controversy over how they spent funds. Look it up. And while you can criticize the portrayals back then, it kind of presented in some ways an idyllic version of the South. It's also a film that gave its first black actor an Oscar. That doesn't get mentioned at all. And it's the movie probably that is, if adjusted for inflation, for the inflation bros out there, is one of the highest grossing movies of all time, if not a movie that more people have seen than any other American movie. And this is what's on the Netflix. It's right there. I mean, someone just took a photo off the screen. When can we get over this? Can we say that certain movies were of their time? For example, let's talk John Wayne as Genghis Khan. Yes, not so great a portrayal. All right. Let's talk about Mickey Rooney in Breakfast
at Tiffany's. Yes.
Yeah. At the time I saw that movie when I was a kid, that was very uncomfortable. Okay. There are things that are of their time. And I don't think anyone watching that is thinking, that's great. Let's go back to that bygone era.
Mm-hmm.
Who's thinking that? All of no one. When can we be adults and tell the truth about certain things? I think it's a very annoying. And there's a certain group of people that want to look at the glass half empty version of everything. Okay. America is criticized, and rightly so, for slavery being a part of America's history. But less than 100 years after America became a nation, slavery was abolished. History is messy, and slavery existed up until only a few decades ago in certain countries. But we abolished it as a nation, and many fought in the North and died to end slavery. And I'm tired of a group that has a completely negative perception of America and our history, ruining everything. And they're trying to ruin movies or perceptions of movies. And there it is, right from Netflix. Just unbelievable. Alan, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I find it interesting that we are more triggered by Gone with the Wind today than we were when Gone with the Wind actually came out.
Right.
It is this slow destruction of our past. We tear down statues. Now we're going to tear down movies. We're going to tear down our art. That's how you destroy a culture, and that's how you destroy a society. Also, we all know that with the most recent World Cup games, the current World Cup games, foreigners have come to this country realizing just what a hellhole America is, and how they wish they'd never come here because of all the greatness they see around them. I mean, the more we talk about this, the more I have to lean to the fact that even as a nation, we've grown so much. And today, this idea that, and I've heard this many times, that America has never been more racist than it is today. That's laughable.
It is laughable.
You look, we are actively against slavery. And in fact, our president is part of the party that helped end slavery, for crying out loud. I think, look, I grew up in the 70s and 80s as a young boy. Much less racist today than it was when I was growing up. And things were definitely racist back then. But I persevered through it, and somehow me and my people, my people and all people have somehow managed to overcome that and work together as society. And we mention it all the times. There's some sinister force out there that needs to keep us divided. In fact, they call us grifters. There is a grift out there currently now that makes money, makes millions on the idea of keeping us constantly divided, and no one will recognize that.
And there was a very successful character, and it was a movie serial in the 30s that became a beloved film of mine, starring Sam Jones in the 80s, called Flash Gordon. And one of the threads in that film, one of the themes is, Ming the Merciless is a dictator ruler keeping the different kingdoms of Mongo fighting amongst themselves to not notice who the real evil is, which is Ming the Merciless. And that theme, that idea, is something that's happening now. And I believe that political parties keep us divided by race, by sex, by sexuality,
by ideology.
They keep us divided so they can keep their grift. Don't buy it. If you see anyone pushing division, that's a Ming the Merciless person trying to pull this trick on you. And Flash Gordon, yes, it's a fanciful, cheesy space adventure. There were deeper themes when that was written in the 30s. And keeping us divided is something politicians do, political action groups do, and there's far less. I've been around on a long enough timeline to see. I saw real racism as a kid in the 70s. In the 80s, I knew like the Nazi skinheads in parts of Detroit, and things really kind of ended close to the 80s. And MTV came along, kind of the media kind of brought us together, at least at that time. In the 90s, kind of nobody cared. Yeah. It was almost as if, racism was in short supply.
Or
what I've seen, let me finish. What I've seen living as long as I have, I've seen racism make a comeback now more than ever. And it's sad to me. And that description, bullshit. And honestly, I'm glad I canceled.
It's the gaslighting that gets me. Look, again, grew up in the 80s television, 90s televisions and movies was the height and pinnacle of black cinema, black movies, black television. The number one shows on television, The Cosby Show, Black Family, Family Matters. Even growing up, we talk about what's happening. We watched these shows because they were great and they happened to star a black family and we loved it. The idea that this never existed, that to me is the gaslighting of all this, that there was never a time in which an entire channel on television was dedicated to black television, black sitcoms, black dramas. Again, we conveniently forget the past. And this is exactly what's happening here with Gone with the Wind. You need to push away the successes and the advancements we've made over the decades in order to run this grift that nothing has changed. Everything had changed. Everything was better, and then it got worse.
Well, a lot of this has to do with identity and the way they push identity politics. The bad idea, which is seeded in universities and with youth, that someone needs to look just like me for me to identify with that person. I identified with heroes growing up that weren't my same age or even the same sex. Identified with Ripley and Alien. Why? She was the smart one. I watched a TV show when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite sitcoms. What's Happening? And What's Happening it was about a black family. And the lead character was a guy named Raj. And Raj wore glasses. I thought, well, Raj is kind of a nerd like me. He didn't look like me. He had attributes of his character that were like, he was smart. I was smart. He wore glasses. I wore glasses. What he looked like physically, being a black character, I never thought about that. I identified with him. He had a sister. He was being raised by a single mother. I was very much like the character. Didn't look like him, but similar. We had same values. Rerun was the comic relief. Rerun was always fun. But I love that show growing up in the 70s as a kid. Didn't think about that. And we almost talk about and think about race too much. And whatever middle management, like busybodies in Netflix that make these decisions, their jobs are pointless. Fire them all.
When I talk to foreigners, they always tell me, why is America so obsessed with race? You know, it's true. And the whole saying of I need to see myself. Guess what? In the 80s and 90s, you were there. You know, again, black cinema, black television at its height for those 2 decades. So this idea that you never saw yourself is a falsehood. You were there. Now, I didn't see myself, but guess what? I didn't care. It was great stuff. Well, it was great television to watch.
But by the way, Alan, also when I was younger, I watched Johnny Sacco and his flying robot. I watched Godzilla on the regular, Ultraman series. I saw a lot of Asians in cinema.
But even like
didn't
Barney Miller.
I didn't care.
Yeah, Barney. I mean, look, there were little bits of us. Barney Miller was sitting out there. Pat Morita as Al on Happy Days. You know, look, I think for even me, it was just like I just wanted good television, good movies to watch. You know, I didn't need to see myself, but because guess what, I could identify with Daniel San from Karate Kid. I could identify with the lead character from Breaking Away. You know, these misfits, these people who just feel out of place. You know, we may not look alike, but we have the same experiences. And that's the power of art. That's the power of television. That's the power of film, is to bring these common experiences up on the big screen and say, hey, I've been there too. And I got past it, and so can you.
Well, frankly, Netflix, I don't give a damn. Wait, there's a comment that someone, Mr. D-Man 21. Frankly, Netflix, I don't give a damn.
That's right.
Okay, he gets credit for that. Let's go to comments as we wrap up the show.
TJ Murray for 5. For Chris, you missed my super chat on the sooner. You don't win respect, you earn it. I think
yes, 100%. You earn respect.
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, see, that's the thing is now they demand it. You know, I have a voice. I demand to be heard, and that's how you get someone like Ed Noguera making Supergirl.
Well, thank you, TJ, for coming here. And is that your child there? That's great. Love that. Love it.
311 SE for 499. Is Reggie Bush or Matthew Leonard in this movie?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we can look on IMDb, but I'm not sure. I didn't recognize. There's a lot of little background parts.
Albert, not a retro for 5. People are still pissed off over Song of the South that Disney won't release it, and it's actually anti-segregation movie. That's right.
Yeah, I loved that movie as a kid. Loved all the songs. Uncle Remus. I mean, it was I love that.
Well, they didn't like his portrayal. You know, of
didn't it win Oscars?
It did, but look, Walt Disney. Basically, he wasn't nominated. Walt Disney lobbied for the Oscar, and they gave it to the actor who played Uncle Remus.
Good. Thank you for that.
Because Walt Disney wanted a black man to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Go figure. Mumblewick became a YouTube member.
Oh, thanks for joining.
Razorburn, member for 60 months. Speaking of the 80s, Dave Kendall of 120 Minutes on MTV died today.
Oh, wow.
Rest in peace. I grew up with that show and discovered great bands, The Cure, Depeche Mode, etc.
Oh, wow. I have gone down a rabbit hole of finding people that recorded entire streams of MTV. So it's like 2 hours of MTV with commercials. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Plus your documentary about Buzz is coming out soon.
Yeah, that's true.
Napsky for 20. Great show as always, gentlemen. Cheers.
Oh, thank you. That's really generous. Appreciate that.
Albert, not a retro for 5. People who are devotees of any political party are chimps in a cage throwing waste at each other while the Illuminati laughs at them.
True.
Yeah. How's your father? Be right back. Searching Black Lives Matter.
And that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADL is 24, Olo Leakway on Rumble. We are back, and thank you to Atomic Lori, working hard behind the scenes. And we are back on Friday. We will talk about second thoughts on the Odyssey, because I'm going to see it a second time.
Yes.
We'll have lots of news.
One of us will have second thoughts. One of us will
have
holding
second
his
thoughts. And
first
then,
thoughts.
And then lots of news, lots of fun. We'll interview an indie filmmaker, and we'll be back. Lots of, and we're getting ready for Comic-Con in San Diego. A lot to do there. So thank you, everyone who sent in a soup. Sorry if I missed that one. I didn't, we do our best. I feel like we make fewer or different mistakes every show.
Yeah, we're striving for that perfect show.
We're one day.
Yeah,
with
one day.
With more practice, we'll do
0 mistakes.
We're up to like almost 1,200 episodes of this show. Did you know that, Alan?
I don't think about those things.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. But thank you, everyone. See you Friday. We will talk explicitly more Odyssey. You may want to go see it.
Yeah. Hopefully 3 of you will see it, and then we can talk about it.
We'll talk about it more. Take care, Alan.
Let's get out of here.